Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so good to see all of you on this Shabbat morning at Temple Akiba. I'm Rabbi Zach Shapiro. We're here with Camp Annali, and we're celebrating with the Cadmus family as Annali becomes a Bar Mitzvah this morning. We're so excited to be with you. We're not just here with those in this room today, by the way. This service is being live streamed. So that means that when we're singing, we want you to sing nice and loudly, so that those who are joining us from far away knows that this is a community filled with Ruach and Spirit, and we're one that connects heaven to earth. Friends, you should have received a couple of books as you entered. One of them is this pamphlet that has Annali's photo on both the front and the back. And you should have received a blue prayer book as you came in also. If you're in need of either of these books, you can just raise your hand so our 7th graders can help you out. Okay. Ryan, can you do me a favor? Could you go back and grab, do you need one of these, sir? If you grab a blue book to this gentleman over here. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're also going to ask that you please make sure that your cell phones are in silent mode. And you keep them away. We ask that no photos are taken during the service either. We want to leave this space as a holy fully electronics-free zone this morning. I'm going to take a deep breath of fresh air. We're going to open our service with the singing of Hine Matlu. It's on page 70, and we'd like to invite Orly, who's our cantorial intern, and who's also been Annali's tutor this year, to come forward to help us. Again, we're on page 70, everyone. As we prepare for the blessing of the talus, blessing of God for putting on the talus, we have an introductory reading which is on page 73 of our books.
Whoever wraps in a tali in one's youth will never forget taking it out of the soft sack, opening the folded tali, spreading it, kissing the border along its length, sometimes embroidered, sometimes embossed. Afterwards, a great sweep over the head, like the heavens, like a hookah, like a parachute. Afterwards, folding it around one's head as if playing hide and seek, and then wrapping the body in it, tight, letting it fold you like a cocoon, and then opening it like the wings for flying. And why are these stripes not black, white squares, like the chessboard? Because squares are finite, without hope, and stripes come from infinity and go to infinity, like the runways of the airport, so the angels may land and take off. When you wrap yourself in a tali, you can never forget coming out of the swimming pool or the sea and being wrapped in a great towel and casting it over one's head and wrapping in it, tight, and shivering a little and laughing and blessing.
We'd like to now invite forward Bob and Lynn Levitt, the grandparents, for the presentation of the talit. We're now on page 72.
As I wrap myself in the tali, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Bless Adonai, O my soul, Adonai my God, how great you are. You are full of glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu v'hitatei b'tzizi. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who calls us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
Annali, we're so very, very proud of you. Last year in Jerusalem, we collectively bought this beautiful palace. Now we are wrapping it around you with love from the whole family.
Annali, for the very first time, you fulfilled the commandment as a Jewish adult, and that's putting on the tallis. And because you've done something for the first time as a commanded adult, you offer the blessing of Annali. It thanks God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to reach this time. We have so many miracles every day to notice. Annali is going to be leading us in a few of them. They're on page 84 of our prayer books. Continuing now on page 106 with the Annali Cadmus. Begins on page 108. We ask all who are able to please rise. Page 113.
Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving having heard, Lech Alicha, Go forth. God disturbs us towards our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like moving, but God loves becoming.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech Yisrael, va'ahava. On page 114.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Le'olam Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated, everyone. We continue with the chanting of the Akiba on page 116. Extraordinary voice you have on you. It just comes through so pure and beautifully. We're going to continue reading responsively on page 121.
The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is no one else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asks God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Our next prayer is the Mitzvah, and we're going to combine it with the Miriam song, which can be found on page 342. And this is a fun version of the Mitzvah. It celebrates Miriam and the women as they went out and celebrated the crossing of the Sea of Reeds. So we encourage, if you'd like to get up and dance around the synagogue, this is definitely one of those prayers and those opportunities, if you feel comfortable, to do this. And it requires a lot of hand clapping too. I'm going to invite Courtney to come back up and help us. Miriam,
Annali God begins on page 124, page 124, and we ask once again that the congregation please rise. We're going to continue with our own time of prayers. We can use our prayer books from pages 132 to 142 as our guide. Girls, just take a moment to think about what's been going on in your own week and let that resonate in your heart. When you're finished with your own time of prayer, you may be seated. Invite Annali's 7th grade class to help us with the singing of AO. You guys take your books here. And where should we sit? Yeah. I'll be with those. I'll be one of the doors. In fact, why don't we have all of the students from Temple Akiba from our schools come on and help out with this? So whether you're 9th grade, 10th grade, or younger, 8th grade, come on up, folks. Jessica, you too? We've come to the central part of our service, and that's Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah. And you're going to be our prophet today, Annali. You're going to bring Torah to the rest of us. It's not a book that's hidden behind the ark, but so that it becomes a scroll that connects us to each other and to our God. In order for us to make that happen, we've got to, of course, open the ark and take the Torah out. And so we invite forward Haley, your sister, and Shia Reyes. I didn't. I'm so sorry, Shia. I'm looking at it the Hebrew way where I spell it. Shia. It's sorry. Just going to looking for it later on. We're on page 244, and we invite the congregation to rise once again. We invite forward to the Bema Karen Cadmus, and Bob and Lynn, and Sherry and David, and of course Jessica and Haley, we'd like you to join us as well. Door by door, generation to generation, beginning with Moses at Sinai, coming down through the generations, Annali, today into your hands, just like they did to Jessica's a couple of years ago, and Haley, you got a couple years to go. You're standing on the same spot where you've been most of your life. Through all of our school here, Kent and I remember when you were crawling around, all three of you. And it's beautiful that you've ascended to this point. The blessing is that someday you may hand this Torah down to your child as he or she becomes a bar or bat mitzvah also. Number of people to offer blessings before and after the readings. up, I know it seems natural to want to come straight up and then to the side, but this boom will get in the way. So we ask when you come up to come to this side, to my left, and just walk up these stairs. It will make the passage much easier. And when you come up, you'll offer the blessing before on this side, and Annali will chant, and then you'll do the blessing after. And you can sort of shuffle around and on. Everyone will shuffle over toward the cantor side, and we'll ask for the next group to come up. For the first Akiba, it's our honor to invite back forward your grandparents, Bob and Lynn. For our second Annali, we invite forward Barry, David, Nee, and Darren and Marlo. For our third Aliyah, we invite forward Larry and Kathy Schumer and David Mara and Ali Missick.
Mikol Ani, and the Natsal Mani Retorto,
Lewis, Susan Miller, Allison Stein, and Joy Steinberg. We're going to invite forward Susan Glassman and Debbie Rafe and any other adult congregants from the Temple of Akiba. You all know who you are. So if you are a parent of one of our religious school kids, come on forward. I'm sorry? Or a buck mitzvah. That's great. Okay. Immediate family of Annali, we invite forward Sherry and David and Jessica, and Haley, why don't you join as well?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam atah b'tzidkenu, baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen.
We now invite the Mitzvah of herself, Annali Cadmus, for her Aliyah. That was such a beautiful chant. And we're going to show the congregation the scroll that you just chanted from. And as we lift the scroll, we ask once again that you please rise. Annali just chanted from the book of the law, the Torah. She's going to continue with the section of the prophets known as the HaTorah. And if you open up your pamphlets, the blessing before is on page 12, followed by the section itself on page 13.
Baruch atah Adonai B'nai Yisrael, Ne'um Adonai, Halo et Yisrael, Ha'eleti le'eretz Mitzrayim, Ufrishtim v'kaftor, ba'aram yichir, Hinei, Einei, Adonai Elohim, b'mamlacha ha'atah, ve'ishmadeti otah, me'ol penei ha'adamah, efes ki lo ashrei ashir et beit Yaakov, ne'um Adonai, ki hinei Anochi mitzaveh v'hanioti v'chol hagoyim et beit Yisrael ha'asher yinoah b'kvara v'lo yipol tzeror aretz. B'heret yamutu kol chata'ei ani ha'omerim lo tagish v'takdim ve'atenu hara'am. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, Ser kol ha'olamim, Tzadik bechol ha'torot, Ha'el ha'ne'eman, Ha'omer ve'osei, Ha'medaber u'mekayem, Shekol devarav emet v'tzedek, Al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu l'kedusha ve'liyucha le'havod u'letifaret al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mevarchim otah yitbarach shimcha v'yikol hai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Annali, I want you to take a deep, deep breath. Because what you just did was extraordinary. Beautiful chanting, you touched our souls, and you allowed our souls to open to a space that's very much needed right now. It's a space where we can ask God for blessings of healing for those who need it. Sometimes we need that space in our soul to be opened up to be able to ask for that kind of healing. If we open our blue books up to page 253, right in the middle, we have our prayer known as the Misha Bera. It's our prayer for healing. And we have an opportunity to ask for wholeness, to ask for healing, to ask for goodness. So as we sing, you should be thinking about people that you know who can use an extra prayer today. And when we get to the center, as my eyes meet yours, there are names of people you know. Please say those names out loud so we can pray together as a community.
Like
as we prepare to return the Torah to the Ark, Annali, we of course would like you to come forward, and we also invite to open the Ark Kathy Horath and Nick Massey, aunt and cousin. And we invite the congregation to please rise. We're on page 256. 256. For I have given you good instruction. Do not abandon my Torah.
It is the tree of life, everlasting, and all of its supporters are. Happy it is the tree of life, everlasting, and all of its supporters are. Happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom. It's time to keep the opposite to us from the fall. And the star is starting to keep the opposite to us from the fall. And the star. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Please be seated, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. As about Mitzvah, it means that I am now a Jewish adult. Being a Jewish adult means carrying on Jewish tradition. For example, some traditions I would love to pass down one day is having a special Shabbat dinner as well as singing the Motzi. As a Jewish adult, I will also take responsibility in passing down lessons I have learned. For example, I would teach as it says in my Torah portion, love your neighbor as yourself. As a Jewish adult, I know that I take on the responsibility of making some decisions for myself. Though I'm not fully independent yet, I will have some independence as if I want to continue my Jewish studies. I would love to give a special thanks to all my friends and family from Boston, Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Illinois. Thank you so much for coming all the way here to share this special day with me. Our Torah portion this Shabbat is called Kedoshim, which means holiness. The portion outlines how you should treat one another. To me, being holy is living a balanced life consisting of my religion, social life, family, and education. To be holy, I believe I must always keep myself balanced, as if I am on a balance beam. When I do gymnastics on a balance beam, I must always keep the weight in the middle. If I lean too far to one side, I will fall off. By making sure I give time and attention to each area, I can ensure that I will stay balanced. Though keeping a balanced life is a major part of being holy, in my opinion, I feel it's also very important to portray certain traits before you act. For example, if you're a compassionate person, you will not place a block before the blind or insult the deaf. Though we cannot always stay true to what we know is right, and sometimes anger or jealousy can get the best of us, I feel the more we try to become better people, the more holy we will be. When I think about where I feel the holiest, one certain place does not come to my mind. I feel holy when I am in the car sharing my day with my mom and sisters. I felt holy in Israel surrounded by my family and people I had never met yet shared something in common with me. I feel holy when I'm at my grandparents' Passover Seder, surrounded by my relatives. I feel holy at Hebrew school when we all come together to talk about Judaism, despite our lives outside that room. I feel holy when I'm surrounded by the people that make me feel safe. Judaism as a whole is a part of me. It means that I have the responsibility to follow the golden rule. This includes making an act of love to the person you don't like and giving tzedakah to the less fortunate. When I was little, my mom used to read me a book called How Mitzvah Giraffe Got His Long Neck by David Somoff. The story is about a short-necked giraffe named Milky who is always complaining and feeling bad for himself. One day Moki goes to see the old wise goat who tells him to help others for a change rather than always feeling bad for himself. Moki walks out with this new idea and suddenly sees a burning bush with 3 baby chicks inside. He stretches himself as far as he can and saves them. After this act of kindness, Moki is called Mitzvah and he feels much better. This story relates to my Torah portion because my Torah portion is centered around the golden rule. When Moki starts to treat others how he would want to be treated, he became much happier. This is true for all of us. When we treat others the way we want to be treated, we will make the world a better place. In conclusion, I would love to give a big thank you to Rabbi Shapiro, who helped me construct this speech as well as helped me explore Judaism in our weekly meetings. I would also love to thank Cantor Lonnie for helping me learn my Torah portion, as well as Orly for helping me master all of my prayers. I would love to thank Stu, my Hebrew school teacher, for teaching me about Judaism, as well as all my other Hebrew school teachers since I was coming here in preschool. I want to thank Randy as well as the sisterhood for my beautiful Kiddush cup. I would also love to give a big thank you to my mom and dad for making this event so possible, and my sisters for always supporting me. Thank you to everyone for coming and sharing this special day with me, and once again, Shabbat Shalom.
It is something new, like my Jewish bakery, my bat mitzvah or me traveling around the world. She has so many new creative ideas, and I can't remember one weekend where she has not said, "Can we go to Michael's? I need new stuff for my scene." She must figure out how to put all the puzzle pieces together for the art. There has never been a time where she has not been creating a new scene for somebody she loves. Annali tries really hard at whatever she is doing. She is committed to her gymnastics teammates and goes to every practice even if she is feeling sore that day. In school, she tries her best to succeed in whatever subject she is in, especially choir. When her choir did chamber groups and she had to learn the song Piece by Piece by Kelly Clarkson, she practiced every day until it was perfect. She is determined to succeed. A quote that perfectly describes Annali is, "Choose a job you love and you will never work a day in your life." This quote describes Annali because she chooses to create and work hard every day on scenes for the people she loves. Annali, you are an outstanding sister, and I can't imagine my life without you. It is so nice to have someone there for you no matter what is happening around you. I love you so much and I'm so proud of you.
From the moment I held you in my arms and you looked up at me with your curious yet calm eyes, I nicknamed you Love Love. It was clear to me immediately that you were an especially gentle soul, and the more I've gotten to know you, the more I've realized that you are an old soul as well. You have an inner beauty that can't help but surface, as well as an extraordinarily strong inner guide that keeps you grounded. You have a deep confidence in yourself, knowing what you can handle. That confidence is taking you far. This year you've had an enormous amount of activities and work to deal with. School and a ton of homework, gymnastics practice and beads, guitar lessons, and of course Mitzvah practice. Sometimes I wish you would just relax and do a task to the point of it being good enough. But that is not you. Somehow you give everything 100%, 110%, even if you're up super late at night doing it. And when you have passion to that motivation, like you have for what you call creating, the results are incredible. When you were about 5 years old, our babysitter, we called Grandma Barb, introduced you to the concept of flower fairies. Like you do with everything you care about, you practice and practice making them, adapting them and perfecting them, until they were something completely your own. These creations, whether it's original fairies or scenes, have been gifts to many of our friends and family here today, and have even been purchased and brought to places as far as Japan and Australia. All of this only resulted from your passion and motivation. Sometimes your passion takes a different form with equally amazing results. You know how incredibly awestruck I am of the songs you have written, which are so deep and beyond your years. They're not just memorable, but they're moving to the point that your soul, your old soul, shines through. Yet with all of your talents, you remain super humble, making it kind of challenging for me, proud mom, who wants to share your gifts with the whole world. Another thing I really admire about you is how sensitive you are to animals. You are a vegetarian because you connect with all animals and you do not want to hurt them. And animals can notice this love. You're so gentle with dogs, cats, bunnies, and wild animals too. Once when we were in Yosemite, a deer came over and licked your hand. It was such a beautiful, peaceful moment I will never forget. With people, you're also loving and compassionate. Without going into details, I can say that I have seen you stick up for your friends. You're loyal, trustworthy, and very mature. For all these reasons, I believe as an adult you will create a beautiful future. Whether you choose a field in art or music or something entirely different, you will be successful because you're determined, hardworking, resilient, passionate, and compassionate. So I guess my wish for you is simply that you continue. You are already on an amazing path. My hope is that you continue on this journey. Continue to explore your passions, take part of teams like gymnastics, take care of yourself and others, love animals, friends, family, and the world around you. I hope you continue to challenge yourself while encouraging and inspiring others. In essence, I hope you continue to live your life as you have already chosen to.
Wow. I can't believe you're about Mitzvah. I'm gonna wing it? You think I'm gonna wing it? No, it's amazing you're here already. But yet I never had any doubt that you would get here. It's through this hard work, your determined passion, and your compassion that's made you so successful today. These are traits that I think you come by naturally. All of your family here today and elsewhere have some part of this as well. But I want to talk about your namesakes in particular. Anne is my father's mother. She was widowed, unfortunately, when my father and my Aunt Joan were very young. But she managed to persevere, get a job, was very determined, held the family together, and raised my father, your grandfather, and his sister. I got through. And then Ed, my mother's mother, also had to work part-time to make sure that's good for the family, while raising 3 children who are only a year apart. But what I remember most about her was her compassionate side. She was the empathic counterpoint to my skillfully sarcastic grandfather, Grandpa Howard, who, as loving as he was, and as smart and as witty, had no patience for young, rambunctious grandchildren running around the house. And so I see that, her compassion in you. As a father, I could not be more proud of you. These qualities everyone has highlighted about you have been there as long as I can remember. Even when you were doing soccer with AYSO as a 4 or 5-year-old, one was going out on the field the first day, letting me go out there with you so you feel confident and strong, and then telling me to get out, I got this. And then feeling so proud when you scored your first goal a few games later. In gymnastics, just last weekend, again, I was tearing up to see you succeed with a particular move that you've been working with all year and getting it perfect in competition for the first time this year. So proud. As a father, I really couldn't be more proud. Period. You're entering the teenage years, and you're very blessed as a middle child to have both a guide in Jessica and someone to guide with Haley. You will have that wisdom from Jessica to take in, absorb, but I know you're your own person, like her, and you'll take some of it, leave some of it, like her, and impart the same onto Haley. You're an amazing person. I can't wait to see where you go next, and I always want to be.
Annali, I wrote my rabbinic thesis on animal fables in Judaism because, like you, I've always loved animals. Something I learned along the way is that if we didn't have the books in Judaism that we have, we would have learned wisdom from looking at the fish, and hard labor by watching the ants, and humor by seeing monkeys. And this was a midrash that was written 2,000 years ago. But I think it's going to give you written as well. Because you open your eyes and allow the rest of us to see into the animal world just how much deep spirit and soul they have. And you ask me lots of questions about animals. along the way. I want to share one particular midrash that I think will speak to you because it's similar to how you act. The midrash is about King David, but he was a little boy. And he came across a spider, and he was about 8 years old. And he did what a lot of 8-year-old boys might have to do with a spider. He was about to step on it and squish it. But all of a sudden, that spider cried out, "Stop!" And David looks around, he wasn't expecting the spider to say anything. But then the spider yelled, "Stop!" again. And David realizes that this little spider is talking. And the spider said, "Don't kill me." David said, "Why shouldn't I kill you?" And the spider said, "Someday I may be able to help you as well." David didn't think much of it, but he let the spider go. Years go by, about 5 or 6 years go by. David's now a teenager, and he is running away from the army of King Saul. And he runs into a cave. And who's at the mouth of that cave but that very same spider? Now, I know that spiders don't usually live for all that long, but this is a big rock, okay? The very same spider is at the mouth of the cave, and that spider says, "This is David, the one who saved me. I'm going to create a web at the mouth of the cave." So that spider quickly creates a web. And then Saul and Saul's army chase after, they see the web, and they say, "Well, no one's in that cave, because if someone were in the cave, they would have broken the web." And so they kept on going, and David's life was spared. This midrash teaches us a couple of things, finally. One is that every single soul of every tiny animal is pure. And that every animal is there for a reason. Even the smallest creepy crawly spider is there for a reason. But it also teaches us that we never know what to expect in life. That we should keep our eyes open to every possibility. Father, your being here today reminds us of both of those lessons. That every soul in life is beautiful and pure and lovely. But also that we should keep our eyes open to everything to take in, the way you allowed us all to take in your holiness today. On this day, dear Bat Mitzvah, we are also very proud of you and of the young woman that you're becoming. We're going to bring them in front of the ark. And even though the ark is going to be open, we ask for all who are here for future remain seated. We're leaving them. You will join us as well. forward for a special ritual. May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yifunecha.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisod Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God's countenance always be lifted upon you and grant you peace of shalom with peace. Amen.
Amen.
There we go. Now I wanted to call forward, representing our congregation, Helene Jaffa, who is the trustee for our adult education, and she's one of the wisest women that we know. Helene, Shabbat Shalom.
First, I'm ignoring you. I would like to welcome everyone who's in this room, and I want to thank you for sharing your bat mitzvah with your relatives, the congregants of the synagogue, your classmates, who I hope will soon be congregants of the synagogue, and everyone else who is in this room. You were absolutely wonderful. I've sat through many of these over the years, and this one was truly special. It's not just that God blessed you with a good voice, He blessed you with a good spirit and showed. It was a wonderful bat mitzvah, and I hope it was wonderful for your entire family, even your little sister, who now has something to live up to. On behalf of the congregation, I'm presenting you with a certificate for a tree in Israel, that I know that you already planted a tree in Israel, and we all want to thank you for contributing to our land, and I hope you enjoyed the digging. The last time I was there, my nails got dirty, but it's worth it. I'm also presenting you with something that's only a piece of paper, the certificate of her bat mitzvah, which is the evidence that you did such a wonderful job today, but which is also very special because it says that Chanalei bat Sarah became a bat mitzvah on this day in this Jewish calendar between Pesach and Shavuot, between freedom and learning. And we know you will enjoy the freedom and you will learn for a long time because you showed us today that you could and you would. Thank you from the congregation.
Friends, our concluding prayers begin on page 282. Page 282, about halfway down the page. We ask once again that you please rise. On page 288. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. You remember, especially at this time, family members of Annali who have died, including Miriam and Henry Levitt, Jack and Phyllis Tenenbaum, Paul and Beth Tenenbaum, Howard and Edna Conway, and Annali Cadmus. May their memories guide us toward goodness. On page 294, we read together. Yitkadash, Yitkadash, Shemirabbah. Be'aman yunach l'mitei, v'yamtiv malchutei. V'chayefon u'yomefon, u'v'chayei v'chol Beit Yisrael. Haralau b'zman karev v'imru amen. Yehesh me'rava nevarach, le'olam v'amei omai. Yitvarach, Yishtadach. Yitva'ar, Yitrolam, Yitnaseh. Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitlalah. Shemei Kedusha, Rechu. Le'elam Mimpo Birkata V'shirata. Tushkata V'nefemata. Daminam Yoma V'imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rama Min Shemaya. V'chaim. Aleinu Al Kol Yisrael. V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom bin Romav. Uyaseh Shalom. Aleinu Al Kol Yisrael. Amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to each other, we can have peace on earth as well. For all of Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Jessica, Haley, Sherry, David, why don't you join us back up here? Or you can come up as well. Our closing on this Shabbat is Oseh Shalom. Put your books down Yeah, know the words, just kind of hum along, clap along. And let's fill the space once again with lots of ruach, lots of spirit. And we turn to, we turn to Annali. And we say, we're going to join right across the way for a little dash. We're going to ask you to take your blue prayer books, the blue ones, and help us out by putting them back on the shelves. The other pamphlets you can take home with you as a keepsake, and let's join right away next door.